Just a little bit about crises in general. Many times I felt like I was going to throw up during the financial crisis. It was just not a pleasant experience for me, but that's not the most scared I've ever been. The most scared I've ever been was visiting the Weizmann Institute in Tel Aviv. We were staying in Tel Aviv. We had various events planned in Rehovot, south of Tel Aviv, and I have no idea why, but the pleasant people who run the Gaza Strip decided it was time to fire missiles at Tel Aviv. And it was the first time that I felt like I was the target of live fire. And it was a feeling of terror because I knew that the people firing those missiles would be quite happy if it hit me. And I saw how the fear spread in the hotel that we were staying in. And we were away from our children. It was deeply, deeply unpleasant. And actually, funnily enough, for my father, who understands these things really well because he's been in multiple military conflicts in Israel, he said to me something that stuck with me. He said, yeah, and the really difficult thing is you don't know when it's going to stop. So when the crisis is happening, when you're under fire in that case, or when the financial crisis is happening, you have an enormous amount of certainty. Is this going to come to an end in 5 minutes, in 5 days, 5 weeks, 5 months, 5 years, 50 years? There's a period in history called the 100 Years' War. And so that uncertainty about what's going to happen to me and how long is it going to last is very, very high. But what I've learned is that in those moments, the world feels upside down. Nothing feels right. And decisions taken in those moments, for the vast majority of cases, are probably wrong. And so, for example, during the missiles falling on Tel Aviv, we were being told to go to the shelters. But experienced Israelis, when I walked out into the street during the crisis, during missiles being fired, there were some people walking their dogs. Some people have learned that it's better not to follow the herd into the basement, and actually the probability of a missile hitting exactly where you are is extraordinarily small. So there's a very high likelihood that for all of our portfolios, where we are is absolutely fine, and that all the businesses will get through this crisis absolutely fine. There's going to be some significant quotational losses, but most decisions taken at a time of the world being upside down are probably not good decisions. And the uncertainty of not knowing when it's going to come to an end is extremely unpleasant, but this will come to an end. And then it will feel like a very short period of time. It will feel like nothing, even though it feels like an endless eternity when one is going through it. So